Oh, okay. So, diba cute kaayo sila, no? So, in case you might be wondering, katong mga tao sa likod, wala to sila ilabot ha. Okay. Pero if you want to adopt, okay, na jud kaayo, pwede rin ninyo i-claim diri sa Southwest University PHINMA, mga gwapo kayo itong nasa likod ba. Anyway, in case you might be wondering, the adoption process is currently ongoing. Get a chance to take them home in 3 easy steps. First, kindly retrieve the Facebook post that was posted earlier that contained their profiles. Above it was a link that contained the Google Sheet that you would be filling up. Answer it with all honesty and please input the correct contact details for a week can reach you shortly. Second, after filling up, a caller will contact you for a very short interview. And third, if your application is approved, you may now claim your new pal into your new home. Well, as they say, the 4 main corners of a house isn't considered a home without a friend with 4 legs. Who knows, the best buddy that you have been looking for can be found in Virtual Pet Revolution. Stay tuned for we will be having more guests who will be inspiring us later on. But before we welcome our next guest for this afternoon, Southwest University PHINMA aims to inspire students to reach their full potential and become the best that they can be. Here in Pet Power Revolution, becoming the best veterinarian isn't impossible. Get to know more about veterinary medicine. We have prepared something that might inspire you to start your journey with us. So check this out.
Success in this world is not about ambition. It's about character. You shouldn't just aim for excellence. You should push for it. So here, we seek to not only change you, but to push you to your limits and draw out the best in you. So you can design your future and set off on your chosen path. We will shape your thinking and equip you with the proper experience. So you can achieve unimagined heights and reach the pinnacle of your profession. We will harness your skills and talents so you can be confident, brave, and eager to conquer the world. We will surround you with an environment that uplifts and emboldens your spirit. Choose the right path. Make important decisions. Chart a challenging future. Take the lead. And be the difference that will transform the world.
Become the best that you can be. Southwestern University PHINMA.
is just so exciting. The South Falls of Southwest University PHINMA is definitely something to look forward to. For a veterinary medicine student like me, a bigger and brighter facility would definitely help me in my aspirations of becoming a veterinarian turn into reality. Allow Southwest University PHINMA to hone you to become the very best by simply starting your school journey with us. And I guess it's time to welcome our first speaker this afternoon. But before that, I would like to encourage all of you to please do ask questions that you would want to address to our speakers by simply typing it on the comment section below, or you may send it through the marketing hotline numbers at 0917 835-2881. Again, that's 0917-835-2881. For school-related queries, you may do the same through the comment section or through the marketing hotline number, and we will be replying to all of those later on during our open forum. So for our first speaker, he is the proud alumnus of the Southwest University PHINMA College of Veterinary Medicine. In 2014, he became a board top-notcher in the veterinary medicine licensure examination and ranked 5th. Here to talk about the vet life, let us welcome Dr. Leo Bebita, DBM. Hello, Dr. Leo. Good afternoon. Doc, your microphone, please.
Sorry. Hi.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Sorry.
Good afternoon, Doc. How are you, Doc?
Good afternoon. Doing great. Doing great.
It's good to see you again, Doc.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I remember last time, that was September, and it was through a virtual event pa rin. And akala ko kasi yun na yung last na virtual event, kasi we were hoping that the next time that we would get to hear from you, it would be through a face-to-face event na. Pero the pandemic is still here and still have to do it this way.
Oh, so hopefully soon na naman. Hopefully soon, if ever, give it a chance. I'd be happy to be.
Yeah. Okay. But it doesn't matter naman, Doc, because this is the safest way, and also we can still acquire the same learnings virtually naman.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Totoo,
okay,
totoo.
Doc, the screen is yours. Take it away.
Thank you, Jigs. So actually, this segment is just going to be about vet's life. It's going to be more of a personalized and subjective na speak and topic. So before I go on, I would like to express my gratitude to Dr. Yandog, to Southwestern University PHINMA, to our College of Veterinary Medicine, and of course to Ma'am Ina, who have helped me and for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of my laptop to you. So, while here, before we go to the specifics of what my life inside the clinic or inside my work is, I'm just gonna give you first a quick background of how this clinic or how my clinic started. So in 2013, I passed the board exams. It was the year where I got to get my license. And then during that time, I was given referrals, and I accepted a specific referral, which was to practice in Mabalacat City, Pampanga. So that's from Cebu. I flew all the way to Pampanga, where I worked for almost 2 years. That's in Pampanga pala. So that's for 2 years. And before I was relocated to Sucat, Parañaque, when the company opened its branch. So it was there that I was trained. I honed my skills as a vet. It was a hospital setting, so marami kami. We were I think 7 veterinarians during that time, still hiring, and I was able to work with large workloads. So simple cases, complicated cases, emergencies even during the wee hours in the evening, and even at dawn, meron pa magigising because you still have to attend if there's an emergency going on. And aside from that, I was also very glad I had my seniors with me all throughout that practice, because my seniors they have different, sabihin na lang natin, professional identities. They practice differently. They have different approaches to cases, and of course, they have certain behaviors on how to handle patients and of course how to handle clients. And it is there that I certainly learned a lot. Um, Going fast forward to 2 years after, the hospital opened a branch in Parañaque City. So that's a different setting na naman because it's in Metro Manila naman. And it was also a different type of training because during that time, I was already tasked to head a team to start the clinic. Parang kaka-open lang niya. So our team had to start from scratch. So that was a different training na rin and I was very glad. Later on, I was very glad because para siyang um, you saw how to start, how a clinic starts. Parang from client number one, from having literally siguro uh, mangilan-ngilan lang na clients to hanggang sa later.
Okay, so I believe na we have technical difficulties on Doc Leo's side. So while waiting, I'd like to make a shout out to our 120 viewers who are currently logged into our live stream this afternoon. Thank you so much, guys. So I'd like to make a shout out to the faculty and staff of the College of Veterinary Medicine. We have Dr. Erla Roble, we have Doc Pia Gordoncillo, Ma'am Christy. Okay, wala dyan si Doc, no? Pero sige lang, Doc Leo, don't worry because Doc Leo will be joining us later on. And I see a lot of familiar names from the College of Veterinary Medicine. Good afternoon, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to our live stream this afternoon. Okay, so we have the online. Actually, guys, we posted a online registration form to those who are interested. Okay. Okay, sige. So I guess Doc Leo is back. So baliko na to nato atong gisgutan ganyan. So Doc Leo, hello?
Oops, sorry, na-disconnect
It's okay, Doc. It's okay, Doc. Wala yung problema.
So, asa na pa to? Anyway, sige, fast forward na lang tayo. Andyan na yung practice. And actually, yung clinic natin is still young. It opened April 18, 2018. So, magsa-celebrate pa lang ng 3rd year anniversary this year. And, ano pa? I-impart ko lang din because I had this stigma that I have had to have a malaking capital to start a practice before. Yeah. And then, yun nga, unfortunately, wala ako nun. So we had our very humble beginnings dito sa clinic. It started with just me, ako yung vet, and one assistant. Ganun lang kasimple. And then, everything was very limited during that time, during the first year, during the first months. The only thing that I have was yung microscope. Andito pa rin siya, present pa rin siya sa laboratory. I have a microscope and then a stethoscope at saka my basic surgical instruments. Yun lang. We started with that. And come almost 3 years, ito na, almost complete na tayo. Not to brag. Hopefully ma-inspire din kayo. X-ray na lang ang kulang. So hopefully soon, magkaroon na rin ng X-ray ang clinic so that we can expand yung mga services that we can offer and we can be more efficient and effective in doing the veterinary services that we should be doing. So, yun lang. And then, let's go naman kung anong buhay veterinarian dito sa city while in a small animal practice. I think some of our students
Okay, so it's very much understandable. We will be having some problems with the internet because, of course, today is a holiday and there will definitely be a surge in internet connection. But yeah, let's just hope that Doc Leo will be back. Doc, please, I may biyahe, Doc. Okay, guys. So, sige. So, once again, I'd like to make a shout out to some of our alumni from the College of Veterinary Medicine. Shout out to Doc Noli Gay Malingin. Sa Pamanade, ba? Of course, our faculty, Doc Phil Alilin. Hi, Doc Phil. Okay, guys. So we have questions prepared. So don't worry, guys. We will be answering to those new questions later on. And as Segingo ni Doc Erla, welcome to the new normal. So it's very normal in the new normal to be disconnected from our internet connections, from our group chats, and unsa pa ba diha. Pero yeah, sige lang, temporary pa man. Okay, Doc Leo is back. Doc.
Nakakainis. Sorry, I'm very, very sorry.
Sige na, Doc. Wala yung problema, Doc. Sige,
Okay.
continue.
Di ko alam kung saan ako nag-end, but ayun, sabi ko nga, during the start of my practice, I never took any days off. Walang day off. It was siguro part of the learning curve sa business part ng clinic, aside dun sa service part ng clinic, and of course, anyway, for any reasons, ngayon nagde-day off na po ako. So, yes, life is good. Then, going with that, every day, of course, there will be, how your clinic started? There will be different types of patients, different types of clients. So, each patient will be different. So, by that pa lang, sometimes kasi yung iba sasabihin, isn't it boring na 9 to 6? That's what you do daily. That's what, parang routine siya, parang routine. Well, yes, routine siya in a way. But if you go inside the process itself, iba-iba kasi. There's easy cases, there are cases na will need deeper thinking and figuring out. Tapos even in some cases, you will be able to perform the diagnostics. Pero there are also times na there are, sabihin natin, financial factors na you have to consider. And so your hands will be tied. So you'll just have to live with, differentials and more explaining to the owners. Important thing is na i-explain mo. And so at this point pa lang, gusto ko nang sabihin na for our current veterinarian students, you really have to learn by mind and by heart yung mga basics, and you have to eat your foundation because kumbaga your explanation is only going to be as good as your understanding of the problem. So if your basic is flawed, if ngayon pa lang, third year ka pa lang, ngayon pa lang, yung habit mo is medyo shaky, your foundations are medyo shaky, then you have to do something about it because it would translate much more, or yung ano niya, may consequences na yan later on. And of course, syempre, kasama na rin yan sa pangalan mo, of course. Then things also that I would say it will never, I mean, practicing veterinary medicine, small animal practice, it will never be that boring to me. It's because kumbaga, I find success and fulfillment, and I find myself making a difference every day when you're able to help sick patients get well. Very fulfilling. And even sa time na as simple as vaccination, and then because of course magbabakuna lang naman, it's very simple, so you'll just have to add na lang some advice. You're gonna give some advice to the pet owners on what to avoid, what to do. See, even in vaccination, nakaka-help ka pa rin. Yung feeling na nakakatulong ka, that you're helping the clients or the patients or both, sabihin na lang natin. It's nakakataba ng puso. Though don't get me wrong, there are also times na it becomes stressful. Nagiging rin, figuring out things or cases are not as simple, and then some clients are already irate from the start pa lang of the consult. So you have to live with it. Again, hindi naman puro lang puro okay or masaya. But later on, I'll start siguro medyo maapektuhan ka. But then every day you get better, every day, until accumulation na lang ng ganung mga clients. It's also training. Kumbaga, how you handle clients, how you become better na how you build rapport with your clients. Hindi lang kasi yung patient yung i-attend mo. You're also gonna be dealing with the client at the same time. Then, sa clinic, it's also very common. I think even when I was working sa company nung time na yun, common yung nadidelay yung lunch, nadidelay yung walang snacks. Nadidelay yung lunch mo minsan naabutin ka na ng 4 p.m. Yung lunch mo aabot ng 5 p.m., 3 p.m. So, small things that you have to be thankful kung nakakakain ka by 12, by 1, mga ganyan. But again, yung trade-off when you're being able to help, being significant sa society or sa community nyo, even sa local community lang, is very fulfilling. And then, minsan nga darating sa point na dahil nagkikita-kita lang kayo dyan ng mga clients nyo. Minsan sa mall, magpupunta kayo sa mall, ay, ayan si Doc, oy Doc, dito ka, agoy. I-invite ka pa, papakainin ka pa dun sa kasama ng family nila. So, minsan nakakahiya. So, very fulfilling siya. It makes me happy in a way na even if I'm stressed sa workload, pag nare-realize mo at the end of the day that you've helped much, you have educated some clients, then parang ang saya. Minsan nga I don't even go with I can even extend my downtime because even the thought of helping nakakabawas na ng stress. So, ano pa ba? Another thing din dito sa pagpa-practice sa clinic is you have, again, going back, you have to know your basics because marami kang gagawin. It's actually yung veterinary practice sa small animal medicine is I'm not saying na parehas siya, pero the approach is it's more of going towards na sa parang how you approach in human medicine. So, ayun, yung excitement, yung challenge, I'm there for the challenge na rin. So, ano pa ba? Pangatlo, why I don't get bored and why I like doing what I do is because every goal that I achieve, gusto ko pang parang sapawan ng another higher goal. So for example, it starts with, sabihin na lang natin, it started with the board exams, passing the board exams. But then being able to learn yung veterinary practice. Then goal naman is to have your own clinic. And then later na lang yan. That's for me to know na lang muna, but there are higher goals that I set for myself. And everything that I do inside the clinic, or most of the things that I do daily in the clinic, is a step toward achieving that goal. And so it's everything is everything is very intentional. It's not like case 1, case 2, day in, day out. No, every day is very intentional para sa akin. Then there will be also times na you think you failed. There will be times na mga setbacks. There will be setbacks. But as always, as I say, setbacks are normal. Setbacks, as you go through life, maintindihan mo na setbacks are actually a necessity for you, for everyone. Ang akin lang is, okay, once may setback, I don't know if nasabi ko before, but never fail to learn from failure. Yun lang. Because everyone will come to a point na magfi-fail, but learn from it. It also came to a point from sa akin na I wanted to know how others people what failures other people committed para hindi ko na gawin. Parang I tried to make it a detour for learning. Parang addict lang. Parang ganyan. I was then lastly, yung sabi ko nga, don't be content of leaving whatever passion na makita nyo, or makita nyo, paano ba? Always try to be better from who you were before. Malakas yung peer pressure. Malakas yung hila ng society to be this person, to be that person, to look at other person. That we forget na ikaw lang talaga eh. You have to compete with yourself. You have to be better from Leo on day 1. Dapat better si Leo on day 5, on day 7. Bahalang maliliit lang, but again, don't be content to live a day or na walang purpose. Be intentional sa araw mo, because even if inch by inch lang yung improvement, after a year when you look back, makikita mo that you are a step farther na from who you were before, and that's another fulfillment. So, diba? Ang saya lang lagi. It's a cycle kung saan you'll just have to learn living life. So, sa akin lang, just an advice na lang din to our current veterinary students. You have to strive for excellence, and always dapat may progress. You have to develop your habits as early as first year. Kung merong mga first year, mga freshmen, incoming students, you have to build habits, good habits. May it be study habits na I don't know, maraming good habits, but you have to build it habang early pa lang, because ang bad habits din
Okay, always strive for excellence. Balag dili excellent atong internet connection, basta kita lang kay kamaot mo strive for excellence. No? So kato pa lang, nindot kayo ang insights ni Doc Leo. Actually, every time Doc Leo would have a sort of a seminar or a webinar with us veterinary medicine students, I always look forward to it, because kanang si Doc Leo would always talk about the practical side ba. Like if he were to make a book, I would suggest na he would consider having the title nga The Ultimate Vet Survivor Guide. So, iyang i-topic dito kay on how to survive vet school. Yung author dito kay Dr. Leo Bibita DBM. Who knows? Basta hindi mo possible na siya later on or in the future. So, Okay, wala din si Doc Leo. Okay, it's normal, guys. So yeah, hello to the 110 um subscribers. I mean, sorry, to the 110 viewers who are currently logged into our live stream this afternoon. Hi guys. So don't worry, of course, what to expect in our session for this afternoon. Of course, what is Pet Power without the game? So we have prepared so many exciting prizes later on. So I hope you guys would invite your classmates, your friends, your families to tune in to our live stream this afternoon para they too can win the prizes that we have prepared for all of you. And just an update, for the pet adoption, we have one successful adopting nakapasar sa to interview. So thank you so much and congratulations. So later na lang ko mag-reveal sa names. Pero yes, if you're interested in adopting our dogs, so feel free to answer the Google Sheets that were posted earlier on the Southwest University FINMA page. Okay, so moving on. Hey guys, so kids at ganahan magpa-shout out, so feel free to do such. And by the way, guys, due to the limited time, we are afraid now we might not be able to answer to all of your questions. However, we will be answering it remotely in our comment section down below. So, ato lang agdo na ato ang speakers ana, no? Okay, we are currently working with the time sa Jud. So yeah, alam mo kabala ka. Okay, Doc Leo is here. Sige lang. So yeah, just a reminder, if you have questions that you would want to address to Doc Leo, feel free to comment down below or through the hotline numbers that is pinned on our live stream on the comment section. Okay, sige, so wala pa si Doc Leo. And Doc Leo, welcome back, Doc. Sige lang, Doc.
Whew. Isang meeting, 3 appearances
Sige lang, Doc.
Anyway, I think that was already done at the end of my part. Again, thank you very much. I'm very sorry if I came like very very spontaneous. It's because nasa work ako. But
Okay,
I had fun. Siguro bawi na lang ako dun sa question and answers. And again, thank you very much, Jigs.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc. If Doc Leo had fun, kami said we are so inspired with Doc Leo's talk. Okay, thank you, Doc Leo. There you have it, guys. That was Doc Leo. Thank you, Doc, for sharing to us about the life as a veterinarian and for sharing your insights on how to survive vet school. Once again, if you would want to ask questions to Doc Leo, please feel free to send your questions through the comment section or through the hotline that's currently pinned on our comment section below. And okay, at this juncture, we will be having an exciting raffle draw that is made exclusive to our online registrants who signed the online registration form that was posted earlier this week. There are 3 exciting prizes that are up for grabs for all of you, and each will be winning a free veterinary consultation with our partner veterinary clinics here in Cebu City. So congratulations to the following. First, we have, drum roll please. Wala dito sound effects na kanalimutan. Sige. So our first winner, congratulations to Miss Trisha Eloise Elguera from Barangay Sambagdos, Cebu City. So Miss Trisha is an incoming college student, and I hope she would be taking the course veterinary medicine. No? Sige, so we hope to see you soon, Miss Trisha. Our second winner for our free veterinary consultations, we have Miss Eureka Rain Perfesio. She is from Barangay Kiyot, Cebu City. Congratulations, Eureka. And our last winner for our free veterinary consultation, congratulations to Miss Ruby Jean Bandico Gonzalez, and she is an incoming senior high school student from Upper Calunasan, Cebu City. So we hope to see all of you soon here in Southwestern University FINMA, and I hope your pets would they would feel great after the consultation. So yeah, congratulations, guys. Okay, moving on to our session for this afternoon. It's time to welcome our next speaker. He is a proud alumnus of Southwest University FINMA. In 2009, he passed the veterinarian licensure examination, and just like Doc Leo earlier, he also became a board top-notcher and landed on the 7th spot. Aside from being a licensed veterinarian, aside from being a licensed veterinarian, he is also a licensed physician. Here to talk about animal care and welfare in times of COVID, let us welcome Dr. Rimar Suson Herrera, DVM, MD. Hello, good afternoon, Doc.
Oh, hello, good
Okay.
afternoon.
Afternoon, Doc. Thank you. Wait for a while. Okay, share screen. Okay, thank you so much for accepting our invitation to become our speaker for this afternoon, Doc.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, I believe your topic is really something to look forward to because it tackles the current situation we have right now, and that is the COVID-19 pandemic. And just a reminder to everyone, in case you have questions that you would want to ask Doc Rim or Doc Kim, please feel free to do so by commenting down below this broadcast, and Doc Kim will be reaching you shortly. Well, we are looking forward to hearing your talk, Doc. So the screen is yours.
Thank you, Jade. Yes, hello, good afternoon, student vets and colleagues. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Dr. Kim, a proud alumni of the College of Veterinary Medicine, Southwestern University. And allow me to shift the atmosphere to a formal avenue of learning by giving you the current and providing you the current data lifted from the Center of Disease Control and Prevention as to the possible transmission of COVID-19 to our dear pets and also to other animals. Okay, next slide, please. Be in mind, to date, coronavirus has been established as one of the causes of gastrointestinal diseases or symptoms in pets, particularly dogs. In fact, coronavirus has been one of the differential diagnoses in a patient presented with diarrhea, presented with vomiting, right? Differential diagnosis of your parvoviral enteritis. Now, with that in mind, now since they belong to the same family, which is your coronaviridae, now it may come to a point that we might consider the possible transmission of your coronavirus, your COVID-19, to our dear pets, to other animals. Sorry. Actually, in the start, during the early months of this pandemic, way before WHO declared a global emergency about this COVID-19, I had that theory in mind. It is just my theory that maybe at some degree veterinarians who were actually exposed to patients who had coronavirus infection, who tested positive for the coronavirus test kits and was treated medically for coronavirus enteritis, somehow they may acquire immunity. Veterinarians may have a certain degree of immunity against the current coronavirus affecting humans. So this is just my theory, and I haven't read any literature about that. So with that in mind, with that background, can coronavirus COVID-19 be transmitted from humans to animals, or if that animal or that pet becomes infected with coronavirus, can they transmit that virus to other animals, to other dogs, to other cats, or transmit it back to humans? No. So that is the question, and we will answer that question after the talk. Next slide, please. So a little background on coronavirus. Coronavirus is an envelope, medyo medical tayo ngayon. Positive sense, single-stranded RNA virus. Take note, there are viruses containing DNA, also viruses containing RNA. So for coronavirus, it is an RNA-containing virus that belongs to the family Coronaviridae. It is highly species-specific, and most of the time, it displays tropism to epithelial cells of the respiratory or gastrointestinal tract. Now, in animals, most of the time, it has symptoms or that animal presents with gastrointestinal symptoms because of its greater tropism to the gastrointestinal tract. Coronavirus, on the other hand, coronavirus infection in humans usually, but not always, remain limited to the upper respiratory tract. But there are cases also of diarrhea, cases of diarrhea in patients with COVID-19. Next. By the way, it was also established that coronavirus also infects the epithelial cells of the salivary glands in monkeys. So there were studies established that it also has tropism on the salivary glands of monkeys, also a primate. Coronavirus, if you can still remember about SARS way back 2003, it presented with pneumonia, it presented with progressive respiratory failure, almost similar to the presentation of COVID-19. It belongs to the same family, Coronaviridae, with COVID-19. Now, the SARS virus probably originated from a non-human host, which was a bat, and then amplified in a farm civet and transmitted to humans in live animal markets. So through this statement, you can really establish there is a interaction, there is an association between animals and humans with respect to the with respect to the development of strains, for example, of coronaviruses. Chinese horseshoe bats are natural reservoir of SARS-like coronavirus. Next slide, please. Okay, in China, where the COVID-19 originated, people, pigs, domestic fowls live in close together, and there is a widespread of use of wild species for food and traditional medicine, and therefore promotes the development and emergence of the of the new viral strain. So the interaction between animals and humans lead to the emergence of new viral strains. So mutation may be somewhere in the middle between the interaction of the human and of that domestic animal or pigs and other animals. Next slide. Okay, next, based on the phylogenetic analysis, SARS-CoV-2 is currently believed to originate from an animal source, which is hypothesized as coming from a bat. However, investigations are still ongoing. Next slide, please. Okay, here I have a photo, a graph showing you the relationship of the most common viruses that can be spread or transmitted to other to other humans, either airborne or through droplets. As you go up here, there's an increased fatality rate, as you go up, and that is vertically, and as you go horizontally, there is an increase in the degree of transmission, meaning coronavirus here, somewhere in this area, is less fatal than your Ebola, than your MERS-CoV, than your SARS, and it is also less contagious than measles and chickenpox. You have this value known as RO rate. This is an epidemiologist's point of view, which is the basic reproductive number. So it means that if one infected person is exposed to a new environment, to a new host, no, it is the number wherein one infected person can infect other hosts, no other persons. Let's say, for example, in measles, for example, since in the graph you can see that measles can easily be transmitted, can spread faster. It's most contagious than the other viruses. It has a RO rate of 15 to 18, meaning one infected patient with measles can infect other 15 or 18 more. So that is how faster it is, or how contagious it is. As compared to your coronavirus, the RO rate of your coronavirus is just 2 to 2.5, meaning with one infected individual, it can infect either 2 or 2.5, no? So as compared to measles. Okay, next. Now let's go to the meat of this talk. So is there a possibility that COVID-19 can be transmitted to pets, or can pets be infected with COVID-19 from a COVID-19 infected pet owner or household member? Now, a small number of pets have tested positive for the virus that causes COVID-19. Everything that I presented here is lifted from the current data of your Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. Now, but currently the risk of pets spreading it to people is quite low, so non-significant. Next. Now, a small number of pets have been confirmed to be infected with the virus that causes COVID-19, mostly after close contact with a person with COVID-19. Sorry. Among these pets, that had confirmed cases of COVID-19, some did not show any signs of illness, meaning they are asymptomatic. They appear they present without any symptoms. They appear physically well, no? And then some had mild disease that could be taken care of at home. And the good thing is no fatality rate have been reported. So no pet was confirmed with COVID-19 infection died from COVID-19 infection. But due to the limited data, only a small number of diagnosed cases, it may not give a significant, statistically, it may not give a significant data on the spectrum really of your COVID-19 infection. Next, please. So due to the limited information, there is no evidence that animals can transmit the virus back to humans, to people. There is still no evidence that animals play a significant role in spreading the virus that causes COVID-19, and there is no evidence that SARS-CoV-2 can spread to people from skin or fur of companion animals, because there are diseases, there are pathogens that can be transmitted to people if the fur or the skin of your companion animals can serve as carrier of those positive agents and can spread them to people, especially during hugging, during cuddling, and other activities that have close interaction with your pet. But recent data suggests that there's no evidence that it can spread to people through skin or fur of companion animals. Next slide, please. With the limited data, the clinical spectrum of your SARS-CoV infection in animals is currently unknown. And then animals diagnosed and with confirmed cases of COVID-19 presents with respiratory symptoms, combination of respiratory symptoms and gastrointestinal illness. Next, please. So how do we define exposure? How would you establish that your pet, a pet has been exposed to a COVID-19 infected pet owner or household member. So exposure can be from one, close contact. So close contact means that it is approximately 6 feet of a person with suspected or confirmed COVID-19, starting from 2 days before the person's onset of illness, meaning during the incubation period. So 2 days before the person's onset of illness. Another way is through, next slide, please, direct contact with infectious secretions from a person with suspected or confirmed COVID-19, same 2 days before the person's onset of illness. So through secretions and through close contact. Next, please. Therefore, since close contact is a possible way of transmitting the virus to our pets, it is advised that people with suspected or confirmed COVID-19 should avoid contact with animals, including pets, livestock, and wildlife. Next, please. Okay, it is not who can be infected aside from our pets, dogs, and cats. No, what other animals can be infected with COVID-19? So there are cases wherein a ferret had a positive confirmatory result of the virus in Slovenia. There were also lions and tigers in a zoo in New York that tested positive for the confirmatory test. A puma in South Africa, tigers in a zoo in Tennessee, also a snow leopard in Kentucky Zoo, and a number of gorillas in California Zoo tested positive after they showed signs of COVID-19. Next slide. In vitro meaning experimental research, shows that cats, dogs, parrots, fruit bats, hamsters, and tree shrews can become infected with the virus. So this is in a laboratory setting, no, in vitro. In vitro also, data states that cats, parrots, fruit bats, and hamsters can also spread the infection to other animals. So same in the laboratory setting. And data from studies suggest that dogs can get infected but might not spread the virus to other dogs easily as cats. So they can, cats can transmit the virus easily to other cats as compared to dogs. Okay, next slide. Okay, other animals that can be infected in a laboratory setting includes your macaque, your grizzlies, your common marmosets also. Laboratory mice, on the other hand, laboratory mice, pigs, chickens, and ducks do not seem to become infected with COVID-19 in a laboratory setting. Next slide, please. So I have here some of the literature stating a confirmatory or a confirmation of a COVID-19 in pets or in animals in US. There was a diagnosed COVID-19 pet dog patient in New York. It is the first confirmed case of SARS-CoV-2 in New York, and it showed respiratory illness. So this patient showed respiratory illness, and then eventually part of the dog's history was that the owner, a household member, was diagnosed with COVID-19 and had exposure to the dog. And days after, the dog showed signs of respiratory illness, and a confirmatory test was done to establish the diagnosis, and it tested positive for COVID-19. Another case was that of a pet cat, actually two pet cats. which manifested with mild respiratory signs. And then it was known that the household members were confirmed to be ill with COVID-19. So they had a history of close contact with a positive patient, COVID-19 positive patient, uh, pet owner, and then confirmatory test was done, and then it tested positive also. Another, next slide, is a tiger in New York. Now the tiger showed signs of respiratory illness, and then it was the hypothesis was that it was exposed to a zoo employee, and that the zoo employee was asymptomatic. It didn't show any sign, any symptoms, and that there was no evidence that other animals in other areas of the zoo also showed symptoms. Another was that from a gorilla in California Zoo. Initially, it showed respiratory symptoms, coughing, and then the theory was that same with the one in New York. The gorilla acquired it from a asymptomatic staff member, zookeeper, with COVID-19. So through this data, through this literature, we can establish that there is a possible transmission of COVID-19 to our pet dogs, pet cats, and even to wild animals. Okay, next slide. So next part is for our, this is to help our colleagues on how to classify our patients. No, if we happen to receive a patient with respiratory symptoms at the clinic, and then we can classify them as either suspected, confirmed, or a confirmed case of COVID-19. So a suspected case of COVID-19 should satisfy the following. First, the animal should have an epidemiologic link with a confirmed human COVID-19 patient, meaning there should be an established history of contact or close contact with a confirmed human COVID-19 patient. And if the animal is clinical, meaning it is manifesting with symptoms, other potential causes of illness have been ruled out by a veterinarian, meaning other causes of other viruses that causes respiratory symptoms, that causes pneumonia, should be ruled out first before you establish that patient as a suspected case of COVID-19. So you should satisfy the two. Now, how about for, next slide, please, presumptive positive case of COVID-19? We say that this case is a presumptive case of COVID-19 if the animal tests positive for SARS-CoV-2 real-time RT-PCR, the confirmatory, one of the confirmatory tests that has been circulating right now, or detection of your SARS-CoV-2 antibody. Now, why is it RT-PCR? Because remember, our causative agent is an RNA virus. So we need a reverse transcriptase to revert it back, or to revert it back from RNA to DNA. And then and from that one, we can qualify meaning absence or presence of the DNA sequence of your coronavirus. And antibody test, which is used as a screening test also in human patients with COVID-19, can be also done to establish a presumptive case of COVID-19. So positive RT-PCR test and positive antibody test can be used to establish a presumptive case of COVID-19 in pets or in animals. And lastly, for the confirmed case, next slide. For the confirmed positive case, you should satisfy the following: either an RT-PCR positive test or a sequence confirmation of virus, and you should be able to isolate or demonstrate a SARS-CoV-2 neutralizing antibody. So what is meant by your sequence confirmation a virus is that you are going to, it is also sometimes called as NGS, the next generation sequencing uh, procedure, no, NGS, wherein it is more advanced, more specific than your RT-PCR, because in your sequence confirmation, you can identify the variants, if there are variants or new strains of the virus, and uh, and in an RT-PCR, it is just a qualitative test. No, it will just let you know that if there is presence or absence of the antigen, or the DNA of that virus. Whereas in genome sequence confirmation, or your NGS, next generation sequencing, it is more helpful because uh, it can detect not just the known sequence of that coronavirus, but also the new variants and the new strains of your coronavirus. And your neutralizing antibody, remember that when the body encounters an antigen or a virus, for example, uh, the immune system stimulates the body to produce antibodies specifically for that antigen, to neutralize that antigen. So if there is presence of a neutralizing antibody, meaning there is really exposure of your of the animal to that specific type of virus or antigen. So again, for a confirmed positive case, you should have either a positive RT-PCR result, a positive NGS result, and presence of your neutralizing antibody. Next. Oh, okay. So any animal may be excluded as a confirmed case if an alternative diagnosis can explain the illness fully. So next, if the antibody to SARS-CoV is undetectable, and if the test results are poorly or not repeatable, or if you cannot get another sample, or if it's possible to get another sample. So you can exclude that patient as a confirmed case after you satisfy the following. Next, please. So here, this is for our household members, pet owners, guide on how to manage or what to do, whenever you notice that your pet is currently manifesting symptoms of respiratory illness, and you suspect that maybe this is COVID-19. So this is also listed from Center of Disease Control and Prevention, Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Next slide, please. So you should notify a public health veterinarian. So in our case, we have the city vet, we have the provincial vet. If ever a household animal had a history of exposure to a pet owner or household member with SARS-CoV-2 and develop a new concerning illness that could be compatible with the same infection. So you should report that. You should notify a public health veterinarian. In our case, a city veterinarian or a provincial veterinarian. Next. You should notify also if ever you notice the following signs and symptoms, observe the following signs and symptoms in your pet, dog, or cat. So if your pet, dog, and cat have fever, cough, difficulty of breathing, shortness of breath, lethargy, sneezing, nasal discharge, especially if it's clear, and watery ocular discharge with vomiting and diarrhea. Next. So these are the suggested guidelines for homes with household animals. People with COVID-19, an established case of COVID-19, and in home isolation should be advised to restrict interaction with household animals. Now, specifically, while a person with COVID-19 is symptomatic, meaning it is manifesting signs and symptoms, they should maintain separation from household animals as they would with other household members and avoid direct contact with pets, because it has been established that direct contact, close contact can transmit COVID-19 to pets. So restrict interaction and should avoid direct contact with pets. If you if you were diagnosed, or if you had, or if not, you were experiencing signs and symptoms suggestive of COVID-19. Next, please. A household member should be designated to care for pets in the home and should follow standards, of course, of hand washing practices before and after interacting with the household animal. So before you touch the animal and after you touch the animal, you should practice the hand washing protocol, no, hand washing practices. If a person with COVID-19 must care for pets or other animals, meaning there is no alternative person in the household that could take care of that pet, no, if ever they are allergic to pet danders, for example, and no one in the household can feed that pet, can take that pet, or can take care of that pet, then you can actually, but you should wash the hands before and after caring for them. So washing is still advised, no? It's okay. It should be practiced also. Okay, next. Care for household animals that are sick or injured should be coordinated with a local veterinarian, and before you self-consult, no, and look for a veterinarian that might help you with your problem, you should inform ahead, call, and arrange it with the hospital or clinic visit. If an owner is sick with COVID-19, then a family member or a friend from outside of the household should bring the animal to the clinic or to the hospital. Simply because a patient with COVID-19, based on our recent guidelines, is not allowed not to interact with other people and should be left isolated until the time comes that he is not free with the virus or with COVID-19. So, alternative family member, or much better, a friend that is outside, no, the household member, should be the one to bring, no, the animal to a veterinary hospital or clinic. Next slide. Okay. Veterinarians that see animals with a new concerning illness that could be compatible with SARS-CoV-2 infection and that had exposure to SARS-CoV-2 should contact their state public health veterinarian, in our case, your city vet or your provincial vet, for guidance regarding testing. Okay, next. So these are the commonly asked questions. So can I get COVID-19 from my pets or other animals? Now, at the current data, there is no evidence that animals play a significant role in spreading COVID-19 virus or SARS-CoV-2 virus to people. So no evidence yet. The risk of animals spreading COVID-19 to people is considered to be relatively low, not significant, not statistically significant. No enough data also to support the statement. However, since animals can spread other diseases to people, it is not just all about COVID-19. There are diseases that animals can spread to people. So it's always a good idea to practice healthy habits around pets, no? Limit interactions, limit close contact, and of course, practice hand washing and maintain good hygiene during the interaction. Next question, can animals carry the virus that causes COVID-19 in their skin or fur? No evidence yet, including that the virus can spread to people if ever they come in contact with animal skin, animal fur, or hair of animals or pets. So no evidence yet. Next question is, next slide. Can I take my dog to daycare or groomer? No, maybe for several months of quarantine, no, you and your pet may not have been properly groomed. No, they may have messy hair already, and you decide if messy coat already. No, there may be so you decide to to schedule an appointment for a groomer. So is it advisable in this time to take your dog to a groomer? No, CDC encourages pet owners to treat pets as you would with other humans, so protect them from possible infection through interaction with other pets and through interaction with people outside the household. So as much as possible, if it's not really needed, no, to bring your pet to the groomer, then it is wise to reschedule it until it is safe. Limit pet items brought from home to the groomer or boarding facility. If ever you let's say for example leash, no, you have leash, bowls or toys that you bring together with your dog to the that you will bring together with your dog to the daycare or grooming center, for example. Be sure that you disinfect them before and after. So before you leave, do you disinfect them? And after you leave the facility, you know, the grooming center, for example, or the vet clinic, for example, you should disinfect them also. So before and after you leave a certain facility or establishment. Do not put mask on pets and do not take a sick pet to a groomer or boarding facility. Next, please. Next question is, what should I do if my pet gets sick and I think it's COVID? You diagnose your dog as COVID-19. So if your pet gets sick after contact with a person with a confirmed case of COVID-19, of course, you should know the authority. You should contact a veterinarian, but don't immediately go to the clinic or to the veterinary center. Call and make an arrangement with them. No? Let them know about that and take their advice. If you are sick with COVID-19, do not take your pet to the veterinarian clinic yourself. No, if you mismo is a positive COVID-19 patient, you should not take that pet to the clinic yourself. No, you might ask for assistance of a friend that is outside the household to do the favor and to bring your pet to the clinic or to the veterinary center. Routine testing of animals for COVID-19 is not recommended at this time. So there is no established protocol yet on when to do testing. Is it really mandatory to do testing the moment the animal enters a veterinary facility? So no recommendation yet as of the moment. Next question is, should I avoid contact with pets or other animals if I am sick from COVID-19? I think this is answerable already. Yes, you should restrict contact with pets. And it is recommended that people sick with COVID-19 should limit contact with animals. And if you must care for your pets or be around with animals while you are sick, you do hand washing before and after the interaction with your pet. Next question. How do I care for my pet if I am sick with COVID-19, either suspected or confirmed? No, follow advice stated earlier, no? The advices that I stressed earlier, the recommendations of your CDC, and then do not put personal protective equipment or disinfectants on your pet. You might spray the fur or the coat of your pet with alcohol, no? Or any disinfectant. So don't do that, or even putting masks on your pet. Don't attempt to do that also. Reduce contact with your pet. Reduce contact with your pet. And again, if you are the only person that can go near to your pet, can take care of your pet, then you should wear a face mask, and then you should wash your hands before and after contact. So balik-balik, no? Wash your hands, wash your hands. Next question. How do I care for my pet if I am sick with COVID-19? First, avoid sneezing or coughing on or in the direction of your pet. Next, avoid close contact like petting, snuggling, being kissed, or licked or sharing of food. Sharing of food. Avoid prolonged contact such as napping or sleeping together in the same place. So maintain a social distancing gapon with your pet. Next slide, please. When is it safe for your pet to be around others, other pets? You have more than one household pet. When is it safe for them to interact with other pets? Follow the veterinarian's advice, and some pets may need follow-up testing. So if ever on the first few days, testing was done, confirmatory test was done, sample were obtained, tested positive, there may be a need to do retesting so that you can really establish that the animal is clear of the virus. So you might need retesting. You might need to collect samples again after a number of days. Now, unlike in humans, wherein there is an established time frame for you to do retesting, I haven't encountered any literature yet that supports or provides information on when to do retesting, so that you can you will have a good yield for a negative result. So no information yet. Next. So when is it safe? Monitor, isolate, and restrict movement. Can be isolation and restriction of movement can end if the animal satisfies the following. First, if the animal has not shown clinical signs consistent with SARS-CoV infection for at least 72 hours, without treatment, and one of the following conditions. First, it has been at least 14 days since the last positive test from a lab that either uses RT-PCR, or all sample types collected at follow-up are negative. If you have a negative retest result, then you can end the monitoring, isolation, and movement restriction. Next, at least 14 days. So I think that is the last question, commonly asked question. So I thank you for your time and thank you for listening. I hope you learned something from it. I hope you be able now to, if ever there is a household pet, if your household pet would manifest signs and symptoms associated with COVID-19, I hope you have the idea on how to manage them, on when and where to look for help. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc Kim. There you have it, guys. That was Dr. Remmer Herrera for his talk about animal care and welfare in times of COVID. So I just find his topic so interesting, and some people might consider his talk kind of more information overload daw, or like you're as if listening to a new language, especially those who are not in the veterinary or like medical field. So guys, if you were to take up veterinary medicine, you would really appreciate the topic. The talk that was given by Doc Kim was actually on very detailed na kayo, and I guess my classmates as well were taking notes because ang group chat namo kay sige nagtingog ba sige bagting. So yeah, thank you so much, Doc Kim. And speaking of virology, or the study of viruses, I'd just like to make a special shout out to my virology teacher who is locked into our live stream this afternoon. Thank you so much, Doc Pia, for sharing your knowledge to us. Kay ako kay like lingaw para nako virology is really an interesting topic. It was so fun to be discussing everything with you, Doc. So yeah. Okay, so wala na tayo laing kuan diri. Okay. So at this juncture, we will now be having our open forum together with our speakers, Doc Leo and Doc Kim, and joining us today to answer school-related questions is the Dean of the College of Veterinary Medicine, Doc Ryan Yandog, and the Governor of the Veterinary Medicine Student Council, Ms. Jacob Barroso. So yeah, we invite everyone to please turn on your cameras for our open forum this afternoon. Okay, good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon, Jakes, and good afternoon to our two handsome Very more handsome than me. Good afternoon, guys, and thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Daghan kayo og fan silang kuan Doc Ryan, daghan kay fan si Doc Leo, murag iyang ultimate fan kay si Doc Noli. Malingin jud siya Doc Leo lang sa kalam, Doc Leo lang malakas, and Doc C and Doc Nestle Abelia would like to make regards daw siya to Doc Kim. Hi Doc Kim.
Hi, Doc Marie.
Okay. So let us now proceed to our open forum for this afternoon. So are you guys ready?
Ready na lang.
Ready to game show no?
Ready na lang.
Game na. Sige. So our okay, sige, Doc Ryan. This question will be addressed to Doc Ryan. So how many years to finish the vet med program?
Yes, thank you for. I guess I sensed someone who wanted to enroll with us now. The influence with these two speakers. Yes, veterinary medicine is a 6 years course. So before the old curriculum, we started with a pre-vet med, but in the new curriculum, when you will get in, you'll start with first year, and first year you already have your major course. So what we're going to do, the program, we designed the program in early as first year. We'll be sending you out to expose you, to give you the idea about the practice. So as early as first year, there are major subjects, and second year, and as you go up, there will be more and more major subjects that you will take. So there are 6 years. In your 5th year, you'll become a clinician. So that's the time you will be handling patients. You'll be on duty with the different partner clinics that we have in school. So 5th year, and then in your 6th year, you become a senior clinicians, and then you will graduate after that. So 6 years, guys. I hope you will enroll and then join us with this profession. There's no shortage in numbers in this country, so we need more vets to perform, to help to safeguard public health. Also in pets, that's like what Doc Leo and also Doc Kim.
Okay, Doc Ryan. So just a follow-up question: what can I expect as a vet med student in Southwestern University PHINMA?
Okay, as we designed the program to be inclined in small animal practice. Though we don't, we also teach you the competency in large animals, swine, poultry, and aquatic medicine. But our graduates are inclined or have competency in advanced skills in small animals. So we program our 5th year and 6th year that we can provide competencies like dentistry and surgeries, which are in small animal practice.
Okay, thank you, Doc Ryan. So our next question is addressed to Doc Leo. So Doc, after I graduate as a vet med student, what can I anticipate as a doctor? Or should I plan to run a pet clinic?
Oh, so actually, what should I anticipate? Balikan ko yan. But going with should I plan to establish my vet clinic? I think for me, personally, go first, practice first sa ibang clinic or hospital. Search for a mentor. Kailangan mo muna matuto. You have to be equipped with the basics inside the practice, because it's gonna be different yung what you learn in school. Hindi naman sa totally different, but it's different when you apply it in practice. So the best way and the fastest way that you will learn is to have a mentor. So before you go and make your own practice, learn so much muna. Learn so much. Develop your skills. Learn from your seniors. Learn from the practice owner. Learn the business. Learn veterinary medicine sa kanila before you go and make your own clinic. Then, ano pa yun? Isa? Sorry, Jakes, ano yung isang ano? What should I anticipate? Well, there's just too much to anticipate. So, my advice is, ang sa akin is, mag-plan ka na lang. Mag-plan. Go with a bigger goal. Sabihin lang natin, your bigger goal would be yung establishment ng clinic mo. Then, divide it into into specific goals so that hindi ka magkakaroon ng parang anxiety when pag graduate ka na or mag-graduate ka na. Your anxiety would be less na ano gagawin ko, ano gagawin ko. Take it step by step. There's very, very much to learn sa vet clinic. Even me, I've been practicing for 7 years and it keeps me excited pa din na ang dami kong kailangang malaman. Ang dami kong kailangang improve from myself, from my practice point of view, from as a professional, personal improvement, ang dami. So, go with this step, go with the process, go with kung ano yung kaya mo na matcha-challenge ka enough. Hindi napakadali na ganyan or hindi yung mga mahihirap agad. So, yun I think yung advice ko para sa asking question.
Jakes, let me add also to our aspiring students that Southwestern Veterinary Medicine program. We are honing also students to become clinic owners, just like what Leo. We're incorporating business in our curriculum, and we are also to train students. Hopefully soon we'll have our hospital, and then the students will really practice. Will really practice the real medicine, and I mean the veterinary medicine in the real world. So what's practicals will be taught in the hospital soon, to be constructed hopefully soon.
Okay, to sum up what Doc Leo said, so yeah, first, always have a plan, and second, gain experiences. Sakto ko, Doc?
Yep.
Okay. And to Doc Ryan, I am looking forward to seeing Southpaws in the future, and hopefully, maybe I would own my own clinic set, just like you.
Yes.
Okay, so our next question is addressed to Doc Kim. So Doc Kim, what are the common diseases that pets can acquire from the surroundings, and what are the proper ways to take care of pets to avoid these diseases?
Common diseases that can acquire from the surroundings, right? So one notable, I think most common is diseases that can be acquired from ticks, from parasites. We have the very common ehrlichiosis, anaplasmosis. Take note that ticks reproduce, multiply, they lay eggs on the environment, and they will just come in contact with animals when they feed, especially females, they feed first before they lay eggs, like that. So that is their behavior. So if the environment is not fully, if the parasite is not fully controlled because you did not treat the environment, and it is where they spend maybe a quarter of their time, when they lay eggs. That can be a source of the disease also. Sana serious ako ang question. Ila kay casual lagi.
We reserve those difficult questions for you, Doc Kim. Just kidding.
So, muna siya, ticks, or what else? Bacteria can be acquired from the environment also. Bacterial diseases also. Fungal diseases, like dermatophytosis, they can also, because it is ubiquitous. Fungi is ubiquitous. It's just around the corner. They can acquire that easily from the environment. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Doc Kim. So our next question is addressed to the cutest participant in our Zoom room this afternoon. So this question is addressed to our governor of the Veterinary Medicine Student Council, Ms. Jacob. So Ms. Jacob, is the veterinary school difficult?
Hi, good afternoon. I can't really say. Okay, I'm still on my third year pa, so I'm still having all those experiences. But so far, my 3 years in Southwestern University PHINMA, it's been great. Ano lang yun siya, all we need is dedication, we need perseverance. Kay we want this man. So since we want this, we have to pursue it. We have to be determined to finish it, kid. So yes, unless you want it, then you can survive it na talaga.
So, Miss Jacob, just a follow-up question. What is the biggest challenge that we are facing in veterinary medicine right now?
Well, for that question, in our college, maybe because of the online classes, everyone is adjusting. So all we have to do is, because of the new normal, we have to be adjusting ourselves para maka-learn gihapon ta. At the same time, we would still want to learn and pursue our dreams as becoming veterinarians in the future. But yeah, more gid to ang online classes lang karon, which is maybe hard, but I know kaya rin ni sa tong students, so aja-aja lang.
Okay, thank you, Miss Jacob. So we all hope, no, na hopefully this will be the last semester for us to have the online classes, and hopefully next semester we would now kind of pursue with the face-to-face or bisan limited lang na face-to-face classes, because there is so much more that we can learn in school rather than in home. And I bet Doc Ryan can agree to that. And alongside as a faculty, it has been quite a challenge to them as well.
Let me add as well, Jigs, because
Okay, sure, Doc.
of COVID, a lot of things na halt. Our hospital will be created soon. Because of COVID, medyo na-delay ita. But believe in us. We will have it the soonest. For you to practice, again, guys, we wanted you to practice in the real practice, practicing in the patient. We want you guys, again, to, when you graduate, you can create your own. You have the confidence, you have the skills that's necessary to build your own practice later.
Okay, thank you, Doc Ryan. Our next question is addressed to Doc Kim. So, Doc Kim, why is there an asymptomatic and symptomatic patients when both are COVID positive? Is this a matter of the immune system, Doc?
I'll just simplify my answer so that it will be understood, no, with a non-medical individual. Before a this is true to all viruses, no, not just COVID-19. Before a viral infection becomes systemic, no, it will be localized first. Let's say, for example, if you acquire the virus through the nose, through the mouth, no, through droplets or through airborne, the development of the multiplication, the defense of the body will act upon first localized on that area. So if your immune system is very competent enough to neutralize the antigen, which is the virus, then you will not present symptoms because it will not become systemic. So it is just localized. Although you have the virus, you carry the virus with you, but you will not manifest symptoms because it will not become systemic and it will not progress its incubation period. So it will shorten the incubation period, and then symptoms will not be manifested, or will not present. So I think that is the reason for asymptomatic or carriers of the virus.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc Kim, for that very informative answer. So we have another question that is addressed to Doc Leo. So, Doc, why would someone want to become a veterinarian? Or siguro you can add na lang po siguro, why did you choose to take up veterinary medicine?
Oh, so why would someone? I think yung question is kumbaga, i-answer na by itself. Someone wants to become a veterinarian because someone chooses to. Depende sa kanila why they choose to be. But going naman sa second question, Jigs, which was?
Why did you choose to take up veterinary medicine?
So mas personalized naman yun dun sa question number 1. For me, I chose veterinary medicine because by the way, second course ko na siya. So even during nung first course sa accountancy sa San Carlos, I was planning na talaga before graduation. I was already planning to enroll and become a vet. I don't know kung dito na usapan yan yung I mentioned na I asked for my parents kung pwede payagan, and hindi. But really, sometimes you nabebuenas na you find your passion agad, and so it doesn't take you that much time. In my case, nag-enroll na ako sa ibang course before I really realize na I have to visualize. Navisualize ko ba yung sarili ko as an accountant for the rest of my life? So I think hindi. Then visualize ko paano yung mga options ko before. Then it really ended up na I really wanted to be a vet. And nung na-realize ko yun, it also comes to a point na na-realize ko rin na passion is not just doing something that you like. Given na yan, passion, andyan yung you are willing to do sacrifices, you're willing to go through the hardships para dun sa something na yan. So for me, yun yung hindi ka gigising realizing, oh, passion ko to. No, you really have to work for it. Ganun siya.
Okay, you really need to work hard for it. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, our next question is addressed to Doc Ryan. So Doc, do you offer scholarships for the veterinary medicine program?
Yes, thank you for that question. There are scholarships that will be provided, or there will be scholarships that are offered by the school. So if ever you wanted to enroll in us, we will communicate with the marketing, because there are scholarships that will cover 50%, 75%, and even 100% for those freshmen who wanted to enroll with us. So as a step on that, please communicate with our marketing department for those specific scholarship that will fit for you. Yes, there is.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc. And just a reminder to our viewers, if you were wondering if unsa ba itong mga possible na scholarship programs that you would want to acquire during your stay here in Southwest University PHINMA, please do feel free to ask it through the hotline that is attached to the comment section. So we have a hotline number there. So you may ask, what scholarship programs do you guys offer? So they would gladly answer to that. Okay, so this will be our last question for this afternoon. So it will be addressed to Ms. Jacob. So Miss, how do you manage the online or home learning in this time of pandemic?
That's a question. You can't really, you can manage, but it takes time. It takes, just like Doc Leo said when he talked earlier, you have to build habits for it to be successful. You have to take your own initiative that you want to study this, you want to finish this course. That's why you have to do what you have to do. So even if it's hard for us, especially right now we're in this pandemic, everything is online. But since we want this, like I said earlier, since we want this, we have to do our best to get what we want. Yun lang.
Okay, so just to add, face-to-face or virtual veterinary medicine or any course would always be so challenging. Walay course sayon, walay course so lisod din na siya tanan. But all you have to do is to have a heart to do everything, and always remember that our struggles would always be valid, because our struggles today, always remember this, that our struggles today would save lives someday. So mawala na siya ako ang ganang siguro college or school motto ba whenever I face difficulties nga. Sige lang, it will all be worth it soon, because I am not just doing this for myself, but I am doing this for those who cannot speak for themselves. Okay, so there you have it. that ends our open forum for this afternoon. Once again, I would like to thank our two speakers for this afternoon, Doc Leo and Doc Kim, of course, together with Doc Ryan and Ms. Jacob. So thank you so much for answering our questions for this session.
Thanks.
Okay, so this juncture, we will wait for a while. So don't worry, guys, if you have questions that weren't answered, don't worry because we will be reaching you out. We will still answer to those questions remotely through our live stream. We will be answering to your questions through the comments section. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay, fret not everyone, for we will still be having a final talk in a while. We have invited a very special guest who will be sharing to us about animal rescue. But before that, it's game time. So allow me to prepare the games for this afternoon for a while. And okay. So this time, everyone who are currently locked into our broadcast can join. I will be throwing 2 questions, and the first to send their answers through the hotline number pinned below, kaning 0917-835-2881, will win a special Pet Power Revolution memorabilia. Okay, so for our first question for this afternoon. So I hope inyo nang ready inyong cell phones, inyo nang ready inyong load. Swerte lang ang na-load, no? Ang walay load, sorry na lang. Pero sige lang, naapatay games later on ay magabalaka. Okay, so first question. Are you guys ready? Okay, first question. What is the title of the event of the College of Veterinary Medicine of Southwestern University, PHINMA? Again, what is the title of this event of the College of Veterinary Medicine of Southwestern University, PHINMA? You may now text your answer to this number, 0917-835-2881. And just a while waiting for the answers, kanang libre kayo ng statement from Doc Irla, no, na siya kanang nag-vet med ko kay wala daw math and that I love animals. That is a very common answer. I personally thought na walay math. I personally hate mathematics. I was a bit slow with mathematics. It was always a struggle, and I don't know how Doc Leo managed because he took up accountancy. Anyway, mauto siya. So actually in vet med, you would still face a lot of problem solving, daghan gyapon math in vet med, and especially in pharmacology and epidemiology. I was struggling with epidemiology last semester because I was culture shock bitaw kay daghan kaayo og computations na angay buhaton. Pero sige lang, makayo lalagyan na ninyo. Okay, so I will also be throwing the second question na lang po para you guys can answer, because we will be announcing the winners later, and the winners will be expecting a call from our team from the marketing department. Okay, so our second question for this afternoon, what college program of Southwestern University PHINMA initiated the Pet Power Revolution? Again, what college program of Southwestern University PHINMA initiated the Pet Power Revolution? Once again, you may now send your answers to a different number. That's 0942-082-0539. Okay, pas-pasar kayo, no? So again, that's 0942-082-0539. Mura tag karaoke machine na kuyang na lang ka ng energy ba? 09. Sige. Okay, batay na kahit na joke. Okay. So Yeah, please do send your questions. And again, we will be announcing the winners later on. So stay tuned to our live stream this afternoon. And to those who answered, please do expect a call from us. Okay, we will be reaching you shortly. Okay, that ends our game, our short game for this afternoon. And next up, okay, it's time to have our final talk this afternoon. So just a brief kind of introduction about the talk. Animal rescue has been one of the most challenging volunteer works. It takes so much time, energy, and resources, but with passion and persistence, the difficulty can easily be carried out. Here to talk about Animal Rescue 101, let us welcome the founder of Happy Tails Animal Welfare Organization. Let us welcome Miss Hazel Agisanda. Good afternoon, Ma'am Hazel.
Hi, good afternoon. Is the audio okay?
Yes, exactly. It's
Okay.
it's very okay. So thank you so much for being with us today. I know a lot of people have been wanting to venture into animal rescue, and I know your talk would definitely be of great help for everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Jigs. I'm also an alumna, by the way, of
Oh,
Southwestern
that's
University,
nice.
but I was in the arts and sciences. So as a few friends of mine and I wanted to take up vet med. So can you imagine? It was in the 80s, but I'm scared of snakes, so I decided not to pursue because I don't want to turn down a patient with a snake. So that's why. So I'm kind of a frustrated vet. So if you'll allow me to share my screen, let me do that right now.
Sure,
Let
ma'am.
me
So
see
while
if
waiting,
you.
ma'am, just like to add up, it's
Mm,
not impossible to take up veterinary medicine gihapon. Okay, our first two
ah.
speakers had different courses with before and after vet med.
Yeah, I talked to Doc Ryan about it, but I don't like the new curriculum because you have to take the basics of
Yeah.
English 1 and 2. And so it's kind of old fashioned for me. But anyway, so that I think that's a lot. That's one limitation because there are a lot of people interested to take vet med, and those who are really certified animal lovers, but the way the curriculum is set up restricts a lot of potential second takers. But anyway, that's another story. So let me know if you see my screen.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Um, Before, I'd just like to remind the audience that Ma'am Hazel prefers to have your questions be raised while she is doing her short talk. So once again, feel free to comment down below or send it through our
Yeah,
hotlines provided. Okay, ma'am, take
sure.
it away.
Thank you, Jigs. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you, Doc Ryan and Ina, for the invitation for this afternoon's activity. So we were with you in Galleria last year, but of course, times have changed, but it should not stop us from learning from each other. As Jigs mentioned, I am one of the co-founders and currently the president of Happy Tails Animal Welfare Organization. We're a fairly new organization, 2 years old, but it's been an interesting journey, and allow me to share with you part of our journey and the Rescue 101. Although Jigs mentioned that, it's worthwhile, uh, but the reality is it is quite tough. So allow me to share. Let me show you some of I have personally, and Doc Ryan knows that I have at least 20 rescued dogs in my house, and Duchess is just one of them. And really, in our society, I think our we a lot of people still discriminate. They still like the dogs with the breeds, and nothing wrong with that. It's just that we're not a very rich country, and there's a stark contrast between the Aspins and those with breeds. But Duchess was found in our neighborhood, I think 4 or 5 years ago. If you look at Duchess before, no one ever will adopt a dog like that, except if you're really a certified dog lover. So that's Duchess, Princess. Unfortunately, she passed away a few months back, but if you look at the arrow, she was really thrown in a garbage-filled creek in Punta Princesa. That's why we named her Princess. But if you look at how a lot of love and care will transform a dog, I think that is really worthwhile. And I guess my talk will really touch, and the our previous doctors, Dr. Herrera, Dr. Leo earlier, really spoke a lot about the skill side of your future practice. I guess my role is to talk about the heart of, if you were to take a look at a holistic view of what a veterinarian should be. I think the heart part is as critical as the skill. So that's Princess. And Eddie was a hit and run victim. I was on my way home from work. And then I saw him on the side of the street, and it was even Doc Ryan's assistant Michael who helped me with Eddie, because no one would help me. And then we're not really experts. No one is, but we managed to get Eddie. And after a few months with Doc Ryan, he's one happy boy. I named him Eddie because I found him on Edil Fitir. And Queenie was a dog I adopted from the pound, and I encourage people to really adopt from the pound, because I think those, and thank you for sharing the dogs from the pound. I think that should be a priority adoption, because they're all victims of neglectful owners and a community that doesn't care. So it's really not their fault to be there. I think if anyone should be apprehended, it should be the owner or the community. So allow me to share with you a typical rescue process. So typically we get a report through Facebook or someone calls, etc. And the next thing we attempt to do is to respond. So ideally someone responds to the report. Then you go to the area where the dog is, and you assess the situation. And then if you have money, you go to the vet so the dog gets or cat gets the best vet care. And eventually the hope is to have the dog adopted or rehomed. So that typically is the process. And allow me to share with you the challenges per process, because there are so many challenges per process. Again, feel free to jump in if you have any questions. So first phase, the first phase is someone reports. There are so many reporters, and it's just really funny. Sometimes it's hurting. Reporters expect you to drop everything just because you're an org. So they expect you to drop everything and go to the site right away. And, of course, it depends on the org group, but the reality is all of us work. We have our day jobs. This is really purely voluntary. We try our best to go to where the reported abused dog is as soon as possible, but it cannot happen real time. So that's really the struggle on the reporting part. Because, for example, if someone reports that there is an abused dog, our neighbor is abusing his dog, beats up his dog, and then we ask, did you attempt to talk to the neighbor? So they expect to just report everything. They don't do any preliminary. Maybe they're scared. And I think that is the problem with the process, because if all stakeholders or people in the team are scared, then we cannot really go very far in terms of animal welfare, because he'll say, I'm not gonna report because hadlo ko, mag-away niya mi sa among neighbor. You have to be the voice of the victim. So of course they expect us to go. So that will require additional delay, versus you're just the next door neighbor. You don't have to put up a fight. You just ask, what's going on, how they can help, why is the dog stressed. So bottom line is, on the report section, there's so many reporters, but very few are able to respond right away. The next part is, then ideally someone responds. But as you may know, there are very limited org animal welfare groups and or individual rescuers. Some we are able to respond, and some we cannot respond. So that really is the limitation. And some we do respond, but there's a delay. And so let's say if we are able to respond, the best thing is the next best thing is really to assess the situation. Why? Because oftentimes the reporter's report can also be exaggerated. So when you go to the scene, I mean, it's not really that bad. Maybe the person just needs additional education. But sometimes good the reporters exaggerate kayo, no? So, but some are pretty accurate when they send the reports, especially if there are photos or videos. But on the assessment category, our challenge really is the limited logistics. You know, we don't even have an ambulance. You know, we take our personal cars if it's available. Not all taxi cabs allow a dog, especially a dog with a lot of blood or fleas, and you know, so there's also a lot of discrimination in terms of transportation. And really, I think that this is where you guys can come in if you want lack of basic first aid vet assessment skills. We're not vets, but I think in the course of time and with the tips also of Doc Ryan, we sometimes consider ourselves quasi vets because right away you can say, Doc, this looks like siya distemper because of the symptoms, and of course ultimately you have to test the dog. But I I think wouldn't it be great if the rescue world will have vet med students also? Because I think that's hands-on experience beyond the books, you know, then you actually see the symptoms that you read on an actual face of a dying dog, something like that. So it would be nice if the rescue world will, we are accompanied by veterinary students. I think that is part of the learning where, you know, the tactile and, you know, the mech domains, the cognitive, the psychomotor comes in very, very handy. So that's really our assessment. Yes. Was there?
I just have a question, Ma'am
Sure.
Hazel. So, in case that a veterinary medicine student would want to become a volunteer, so how can they apply to your organization?
Well, first of all, I don't know the mechanics or the technicalities if you have to have release from the school or anything. But we, if, for example, there's really no problem on the school side that you come and volunteer on a personal basis, then we typically go through an interview. And then you just really buddy up with us, you know. And but for us, we were vaccinated with pre-exposure, so that in case we get bitten and all that, so we need to do the due diligence first to make sure that we're also prepared and protected. And we just really buddy up because we really don't know what cases are reported. So it could be an opportunity to educate a person because he beat up his dog, or the dog is tied with a very short leash and it's against the 5 freedoms of animals. But you'll be exposed to different facets of animal neglect and animal abuse. So yeah, so you buddy up with us, tell us which time you're available or you're part of the pool, and when we say, hey, there's a report in Guadalupe, you can say available, and then we meet up and then we go to the place.
Okay, what are the means of communication with Happy Tales, Ma'am Hazel?
So then if you're part, then we'll have a typical chat group, you know.
I mean, like, how can they start communicating with you?
Oh, we have a Facebook page, and then you can send a message.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ma'am Hazel. So if you wish to continue, please do
Yes.
so.
Yes. So anyway, so that's the assessment challenge that we have. But we get by, you know, we get by. We ask friends. I drive, you know, and so we do what we can. Of course, we have limited funds. So when we go to the vet care, and I think I'm always biased with Doc Ryan, but I think you're very fortunate to have a dean who has the great balance and combination of skill and heart. In our experience, we've had really nasty vets, you know, and I look at them and say, oh my goodness, I don't even think I should be a vet because you don't have the heart. So if your mindset is, I want to be a vet because that's pretty lucrative, then I think your mindset is wrong. I think first of all is you have to have compassion, because if you go to a clinic and we pay good money, right? But there's really a huge lack of manners, empathy. Compassion is very transactional. If you are in a clinic and someone brings his pet, you better believe that that person is extra compassionate than a regular human being, because he spends money on his animal. So he should be afforded some kind of empathy, not just so mechanical. So anyway, we have so many stories to share about that. But of course, in Happy Tales, we were not the type to bash clinics on Facebook. We just kind of talk about it behind the scenes. But we tell ourselves that we don't recommend those clinics to friends because of the very bad experience, bad customer service, and etc. So on the veterinary care side, our challenge is it's really limited due to lack of funds. And as I said, Doc Ryan is very kind to us because we have a credit line. If it weren't for Doc and his clinic, I don't think we'll be able to rescue as many. Since we started in 2019, and despite the pandemic, we tried to manage, responding to rescues. We've had at least 85 rescued, recorded rescues. So that's a pretty significant number. Given that we're a very lean organization, there's not a lot of us. Very few clinics provide discounts to rescue cases. I mean, we try, say pabaga kag naong if you don't have a lot of money, but you go to a clinic and, the x-ray, and you kind of ask like, won't we discount for rescues? What? So, okay, so, well, at least you try. So it's really, you can tell that that establishment is purely profit. That's it. So we also look forward for FINMA to have your own hospital, because we'll make sure we get our x-rays there. And on the adoption part, it's really challenging because in our community, dog cat discrimination is still very prevalent. And for me, I lived in the US also for a number of times. There are also people who discriminate, but not as much as in our society. Sometimes I even think we're quite pretentious, so pa-uso-uso ba, there's there was a time when Shih Tzu was really uso. There was a time when, a Siberian Husky was really uso. And then I was thinking, the name is Siberian Husky. Dapat Siberian siya. So your aircon 8-10 tonner can never substitute a naturally cold place, so, and I think that's why I'm biased to Aspins, because of course they're discriminated upon, but more importantly, they're really designed and built for the tropics. So for me, so that's just me. So it's very prevalent in our community, and they always say, oh, Aspin ra na. So even in a household, ang Shih Tzu tugsod, yang Aspin bantay sa gawas. Isn't that, for me, that's cruel. I think that's not very kind.
And to add, Hazel, actually Aspins, I know you can agree to this, but Aspins are actually the most hardy breeds.
Yeah.
So these are the breeds that are least likely to acquire disease, except siguro ka na mga bitok-bitok lang inana, pero like mostly let's say bacterial or viral diseases, where
right,
less chances of acquiring those no?
Exactly. But again, people ganahan ko sila pauso, and me, I'm not, except for some, sorry, my dogs are noisy because it's their playtime at this time. So it's really I'm not an advocate of breeders, except for some. Why? Because I've had friends, they buy a dog and I ask them, pila edad, 1 month, o gibaligya na mas breeder, kinamay mo palit. For as long as you buy, there will always be breeders. And it's just sad because, they're not regulated. It would be nice if a government agency can check on how they set up their dogs. But more than often, I've seen a house in Busay, they have huskies. They're in cages. And I don't know if they even walk their dogs. So
also the same thought, ma'am. Like, what's your reason for getting a very expensive or very known dog, pero sila di kay imo bitaw i-keep sa cages? So that alone is labag na siya sa atong animal welfare rights.
Yes,
their freedom
exactly.
to express normal behavior, right?
Yes, exactly. And the big opportunity in our community is the enforcement of the law. Okay, kung why enforcement of the law, and that's the reason why, because there is no proper enforcement of the law. They're not properly regulated. They're not even taxed, and we know they charge a lot. And and it's just me, when I go to a clinic and I see stud service, I'm thinking, mura manig ng animal prostitution. Ay, for me lang, so, so I think I feel very bad. I feel very bad for this state, and I think it's not right. So that's really the state of the rescue process. So allow me to proceed. Hang on. So I think here. So I wanted to show some rescue takeaways. Did I put takeaways here? I worked on my slide at 2 a.m. because I work nights, but I think I have a typo here. But the rescue takeaway. So if I were a vet student, to be part or to be a volunteer again it's a great combination. You study the theories and everything in the classroom. You don't have to wait till you're in your fifth year to be exposed to real world cases. So for a veterinarian, it's kind of holistic. So you are exposed, there's frontline exposure of multiple cases. As you become ingrained in the rescue process, you develop your effective learning domain, meaning your heart. So while you're a student, sugdan na imong heart. Kaya kung di mo masugdan imong heart, late na kayo. For me, it's a bit late. So when you see the misery of a neglected dog, you see the ribs, hit and run, and then people just walking and oblivious of the pain. Then as a future veterinarian, you will probably tell yourself, you probably see each case differently, not just a potential money earning case, but you see it in all aspects. Yes, of course, you'll charge, you'll earn money, but more than anything else, just like what I think Doc Cleo said earlier, to save a life. Aside from the exposure also will allow you to develop your soft skills, because when you educate a stranger because who are you? Kinsa man ka, wako kailan mo, you come here and you lecture me on the 5 freedoms of animal. So that skill is not developed overnight. It's hard to develop inside the classroom. I say that because I'm also a teacher. I taught in Southwestern for 5 years before I moved to the US. But the communication and the soft skills is developed as you meet different kinds of people. You meet people who are meek, you meet people who are know-it-all, you meet people who are very arrogant. But the bottom line is, I need to extract that dog out of this condition, and I don't care. I'll do what it takes. But soft skills is not developed overnight. So I think this kind of exposure will allow you to develop that, when you need to be patient and to refrain from saying what you really feel. Because when you see the dog in his condition, na kuan kayo kanang, beaten up and very you really want to strangle the owner, actually. But of course, you will not actualize your thoughts, right? Because you'll get in trouble. But honestly, when I do rescues, so I curse so much in my head because I'm so upset, and I'm really upset. But I cannot really translate my thoughts verbatim when I talk to the person. So you have to, and I've learned also when I observe Doc Jess in the City Pa when they talk. So they also, that's a skill they learned throughout the years, being exposed to all these different scenarios. And more importantly, one of the aspects is this exposure will allow you to create better awareness, because you're out there. You're not in the confines of the academe. I was talking to Doc Ryan just earlier. I was in his clinic that 2 weeks ago I had a webinar with PBED, with Ramon Del Rosario, with Philippine Business for Education. So that's part of my regular job because I work for Concentrics. And so he was talking about how he wants the academe to be linked to collaborate with the industry, so that once you go out, it's not just a piece of license or a piece of transcript, but with your transcript comes in skills that you already developed while you were a student. So better awareness. I'll pause real quick if you have any questions.
For those who are wondering, where can we report animal welfare concerns, Ma'am Hazel?
Ideally, it should be the pound, but understaffed, luoy kay silang doc, daghan na gid, wa na gid. So for me, if you see a case, you try to assess and maybe talk to the person yourself, because for me, I feel daghan kaing Facebook warriors. Sige lang, report niya. Kung muingon na, okay ra ka mo witness, adto na to sa barangay, nakita, di na. And that's why a lot of cases fail. Mutalaw naman. Para nako. So daghang reporter, daghang sang talawan. Mas daghang talawan.
With yes, ma'am.
I get frustrated. And I have a lot of friends also nga rescuers, moabot sa na sila nga point nga kuan oy kanang you reach a certain point wherein you really want to give up, but ma-burnout man sa, because it's so, like what you said, it takes a toll on your time, your health, your money, because ikaw pa ni rescue, ikaw pa gahilak, nagdagan sa iro, ikaw pag mo bayad, kay mo atras naman ang uban, you raise funds and all that. Yeah, but for the most part, no, whoever rescues takes care of the vet bills. And I feel even embarrassed for Doc Ryan, kay, we still have bills to pay. But I think what's important is we try to rescue as many, but very few step up for the role. I find it ironic for a Christian country, honestly. That's just a picture of some of the many dogs that we rescued. All Aspens, except maybe Ava. She has Ava, this black lab. Kini siya, produkto ni siya, mag-uyab. During when they were very lovey-dovey, so the boyfriend gave this as a gift. When they broke up, left the dog on the street. So I say, if you want to give a gift to your boyfriend or girlfriend, you just give a stuffed toy. Kaya waman ta kay bao, ingon sila, walang forever. So kung di mo magkadayon, why maangin nga iro? Di man, bilin mang iro sa daan. Okay, the girl said, he reminds me of him and vice versa. And I said, next time, and that's why when we interview people for kanang adoption, I really ask them, number one, why do you want to adopt a dog? And if you will say, I want it to be a gift for my girlfriend, and I say, you just go to kuan kanang for magic ba na sa for magic shampoo man din na Blue Magic sa Ayala kudong adto na las Blue Magic sa Ayala dagang kay nindot ka tong stuffed toy kay magkinaunsa loy kay ngiro ya kinsa may ending mo Salvar, di ba kami mo na mabitter na mo mi uyab niya ani dayon.
It reminds me, said Ma'am Hazel ba, I remember my mom telling me na if ever manggani makauyab ka dong, or kami doon sa akong brother ba, mga siya nga, if ever makauyab manggani ka dong, ayaw jud mo ayaw i-involve ang iro sa iyong relasyon. Kaya aside sa, kaingon sila nga nado na siya sumpa, nga if ever mo hatag daw kag iro sa imong partner, chances are, magbuwag mo.
Ala no? May kung kibawa na.
May bayaon ta nga naatay kuan like giingon nga child support sa ato ang law, wala ba yatay dog support nga giingon or dog or cat support nga gi.
Yes, yeah, that's so true. And I'm glad. Tell your mom, she's so right. Magtudtud niya kanang binata gani kayo kanang wala gid. It is not, they are not there for the welfare of the dog. They're only there for the short-term relationship. Paita. So anyway, if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, no, kanang just a stuffed toy will suffice.
And hopefully, Ma'am Hazel, no, since the elections are coming up, I mean the elections will be next year. Hopefully, there will be a lot of lawmakers who would stand up for animals this time.
Well, yes, I hope so. But in the barangay, we talked to the barangay captains. Di man nila priority niya. So this is one of those situations wherein you really stop your stop verbalizing what's in your head, because in my head I'm saying, oh, because it might have been a different scenario, Cap, if they were taxpayers, yeah, voters. Hindi man voters ang iro. So dili thousand sa sila priority, pero I think it might have been different kung butante ni sila, di ba? Tagaan pag dog food, house to house, dog food, oh, inana. So I'm just joking, but it's partially true. Well, you in the invitation that Ina made, you saw a little dog that I rescued. He's Lilo, because I found him in Liloan exactly a year ago. And look at her now. And Doc Ryan, look at how small she was when Dr. Ryan treated her. But this is an example of, you know, how you can contribute, make a difference in the life of a dog who was neglected. So that's Lilo. And allow me to end my presentation with my favorite quote from Emily Dickinson. If you have your English 4 or higher English that has American literature, Emily Dickinson is one of my favorites. So she said that if I can stop one heart from breaking, I shall not live in vain. If I can ease one life the aching, or cool one pain, or help one fainting robin unto his nest again, I shall not live in vain. So I think the most important virtue of a human being, not just a veterinarian, of a human being, is to ease the pain of someone or an animal, and especially an animal who can never repay you back. That, I think, is ultimately the test of your passion and your commitment to making this world a better place to live in. So I end the presentation with thanking everyone for coming, and thank you for listening to my short presentation.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Hazel. So, which reminds me, no, our former city veterinarian, si Doc Alice, once shared to us na if you give love to a stray animal, that animal would love you 10 times more, even 100 times more. Plus, you have secured your spot in heaven.
Yeah, I believe that too.
Mm-mm.
They're better than humans most of the time.
Yeah, true. Exactly, ma'am. Kay may pa mga animals kay kanang walay libog, no?
Yeah.
Ito, ma'am.
Thank you.
So hopefully, ma'am, no, it is quite timely because I remember last month my mom mentioned to us nga unsa daw iyang retirement plan in the future. So I saw her manggod nga nag-watch us a live stream. Hopefully, she would consider your what you're doing right now. I hope nga this opened her mind nga the possibility nga what if no rescue workers total akong anak kay kuan man kanang veterinarian in the future. Pero
Yes.
okay ra jud ko basta bayaran lang jud siguro.
Well, I told Doc Ryan that so in my household I need to have extra help because I have 20 dogs. So I send 2 girls to school. So I told them, if you want to take a vet med, I'm going to send you to school. I will send you to school because it's important that you already have as early as now this love and commitment for animals. So yeah, so I think and one day we'll have our own shelter, and that will be my retirement.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ma'am Hazel, for joining us this afternoon,
Sure.
and we
Thank
look
you.
forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you everyone.
Okay. Once again, thank you so much, Ma'am Hazel. Your hard work and dedication is very much appreciated. I hope that through you, many people would be more aware and be sensitive to those who need us the most. We hope to see you again soon, and as I mentioned earlier, maybe we can partner with your organization in the future. So there you have it, guys. That was Miss Hazel Aguisanda, the founder of Happy Tales Animal Welfare Organization. And speaking of animal welfare, this is our responsibility to attend to the needs of our furry friends. Every animal is sentient, meaning they too are capable of feeling the same way as us. They appreciate the feeling of being loved, and they can also feel pain and distress. But despite of it all, a companion animal, especially dogs, would still love you and remain to be loyal with you no matter what. So as you have witnessed earlier, we will be releasing some dogs that are up for adoption. The adoption process is still ongoing, and I believe we have already granted some applications. We have two. Thank you so much to Miss Jermaine K. Cantila for adopting Apple, and to Miss Lakeisha Laika Viray for adopting Chloe. So we hope to see all of you soon, and in the pound kung kinsa manggali ang makaadto dito. So just a reminder to everyone, so if you wish to adopt a dog, kindly retrieve the post earlier that contained this picture that is flashed on the screen. So on the caption, we attach a Google link that you can answer. So please do answer the questions honestly, and please do provide your correct contact details. Second, a caller will be reaching to you shortly through call, so they will be asking just some follow-up questions, and if your application is approved, then you can now claim your dog at the City Pound. And just a reminder, there will be a slight adoption fee, but this adoption fee is to cover the previous medical history, like medical and so like the deworming and the vaccinations for rabies and 5-in-1. So yeah, so hopefully naagihapon mo yung naagihapon mo adopt. So we still have 5 dogs that are up for adoption, and of course, in case you might be wondering if you might want to adopt the dogs that Miss Hazel shared to us, you may contact them through the Happy Tales Animal Welfare Organization on Facebook. So Miss Hazel will be attending to your questions, and if you're gonna mag-volunteer work, you can also ask the same things. So mata siya, and here in the College of Veterinary Medicine, we started the Adopt Don't Shop campaign. It has been so uplifting to know that so many celebrities and personalities like Heart Evangelista, Carla Abellana, and even the president and the COO of the Ayala Group, Mr. Fernando Zobel de Ayala, prefers to rescue strays and do adoptions instead of like acquiring dogs of top-known breeds. So mauto siya. So hopefully you would consider these dogs that are flashed on the screen. So we will still be entertaining those until tonight. So moving on. So thank you once again. Thank you so much to everyone who adopted, and we are nearing the end of our event today, but of course, what is Pet Power Revolution without the games? So we have 3 games today, and just like the regular Pet Power, we have exciting prizes that are up for grabs and will be exclusively delivered to you. So let us welcome our game master this afternoon. We have my manghud, my very healthy manghud, si Warren. Okay, so you might be wondering, familiar kay ang naam ni Warren. So Warren is actually a second year student, right? Sige. So Warren, ganahan ka ganahan ka maminaw sa atong live stream. Okay. Sige, War. Share na lang dyan ta ating kapatid sa taharon.
Yeah. Sharing is better than nothing. So remember, guys, after we filled our mind with knowledge and education, now prepare your phone and hands to type the perfect answer for the right question. So remember, guys, we filled your mind. Now your GCash will be filled with cash. So now, guys, we will start, and I want you to stretch your finger. So, after those amazing information that we've got or we learned, so now our hands is our weapon today. This moment, our first games is what we call Guess That Breed.
Sorry. Commercial.
Tanawa lang kung smile, guys. Mechanics. Guess the breed of the animal shown in the picture. Prizes is, load or GCash. In the easy level, we have 50. And the average level, we have 100 pesos. And the difficult is 150 pesos. Just remember, your weapon today is your finger. So let's begin. Remember, begin. Handa na ba kayo? Heto na. Easy round. Just look on the picture. Diba? So, ingana, so kung online class, ingana ka-serious ka ng irina na area. Diba? Look with his amazing fur, your coat, you know? Just, oh, corgi. I don't remember corgi. It's a cat. Oh, yes, we have a first winner. And that's Rishi Glenn. Is that correct? That's what we call La Perm. It's not confirmed, but La Perm. So just read the description, you know? So we will go now. We will go on. Just look. Oh, diba? This majestic animal is amazing. Looking in your eyes, just remember kung asa dyan ninyo nakitaan. It might be in your neighborhood, but it's not. Ooh, I'm still waiting. Remember, the easy round, you will have 50 pesos in your GCash or low. Sakto na kayo na, guys, to chat with your loved ones. But I'm still waiting. Wala pa din.
Blue word.
Clue. Nag-start ang first letter with a V. V. And the last letter is letter A. So, ihapa lang ng box, guys, and put it in your mind. Okay, we have a winner, and that is Do Erla, and that is Visla, from Hungary. We know in the Filipino or the Visayan word, we have the word masla, but it's Visla in now. So we go on to the next round. We are now in the average. I know your GCash are shouting right now because it's 100 pesos. Pesos, no? So if you want to have load or GCash, no, just use your hand and your mind. Karon kay kausa lang dito makadaog, guys, ha? Remember, we have a lot of participants. So give it them, you know, not all yours, huh? So we are now in the average. Ooh, if you thought you have a blurred eyes, but it's just the mechanic of the game. You know, just focus on the shape of that cat, you know, of course, cat, you know, the pattern it has, you know, familiar jud kay ni siyang irina, guys. Bingo. Next. Oh. The first letter of this cat is K. K. I forgot. It's letter S. Sorry, my brain is crazy. The last letter is E. E. Actually, dito di siya paminawon, igsulti na ako. Malingaw jud mo. Oh, we have a winner. Listen, this cat is what we call So koke. You know, in the Philippines, we have a famous alien sounds like this. Koke? You know koke? Huh? Koke. So next, just a reminder for those who are winner, just go to our council FB page. Diba? So next, as in definition. Just look on the picture. Clue kay white ni siya nga iro. Clue. Grabe jud kay si dog ka participated. Participative. I know the word. Sphinx. Well, the dog ni siya guys, agin dog. So I'm still waiting. Siamese. White dog. Starting letter. Wait. Next clue. Wait a minute, ha? Pasensya na kay nag-freezing akong brain. Hapit na dyan na guys. Sige lang, go on. 100 para sa 100. Just remember 100 na, dako kay nagkalipay sa inyong GCash or load. Diba? Oh, askal na puti. Sige lang guys. Just remember ha, adapt, don't shop. Hapit na jud mo. Sus, nindot jud siya. Oh. We have a winner. Wala pa gaya na gisulti ang clue na siya answer. Canaan dog. Sa katong moapil og misa every Sunday, makabawd jud mo nga kaning nga word na ani siya sa Bible. So mauna siya. Next is the difficult stage. This is 150 pesos worth of GCash or load. Okay guys, ha? Oh guys, dili na siya punuan ha. Just remember, dili na siya punuan. First clue, it's a dog. Dili sad na siya rasta nga tao, di na buhok. Dog na siya. Okay. Commodore. Not accepted. Remember, kung kani nga iro, if this dog, you will see in your house, it's look like a mop. A mop. Okay, a clue. First letter is B. Remember, B. Last letter is O. Oi! We have a winner. Listen, this is Laika Jane Pihante, the winner of 150 pesos. Maoni siya guys. Ang Bergamasco nga iro. Diba? Kita mo na haggard kay nga iro. Kay working dog, mangguna siya, sheep dog. Yan, napadyo na siya sa mountain area. So, kailangan dyan na niyo. So, basta kung naamoy ingani nga iro or yung classmate, pagbantay-bantay mo, kay mura dyan siya map. So, mana siya guys. Okay, we will go to our next game. Okay, just a minute guys, there's a technical problem. Another, guess the breed. Is that? Guess the breed. Same thing, there will be a total of 5 winners. In each, we will receive 50 pesos worth of load. Worth of load. Karon jud guys, paninguha na jud mo kay para maka-text na mo sa inyong labidab. Or sa, for those still finding the right one, saktuha. We will give you the first move, load. So much guys. Next, we are now in the easy round. Okay, this breed of dog have fontanelles present throughout their entire life. Throughout their entire life. Doc Abelia, hi. I remember the keyword of these fontanelles. In the Bisaya word, we call it hubon. Hubon. Remember when your mama get angry because of your little, the infant, Be careful. The head is still soft. In Bisaya, pag hinay kay, humo pa kayo naghubon. Ano siya? So, we have a winner. Grabe ka participative. I get the word. We have a winner. Chihuahua is the only dog. Eliza Therese Bayani, bata og noun, bata og size, pati ang young skull structure, bata, hubon. Ano siya? Remember ang noun, cute kayo, murag ako. Okay. Another, This type of dog is a breed for working in the rural setting. We have standard dog, sporting dogs, lap dogs, and farm dogs. Answer, guys. We have a winner. Grabe, murag 100 na jud niya ha. Cyril Rishi Glenny, sakto ra ko. Just heart me, Just heart me. So mo na siyang itaw og farm dog or working dog. So mo na siya. Rishi Glenny. Sakto ba kung pagbasa sa imong pangalan? Just heart me. So next, ano siya, border collie is a sample of a working dog. Easy round ba? Yapon. Which among this breed of dogs weigh about 5 to 12 pounds but never reaching 12 inches in height? A. Doberman, B. Husky, C. American Bully, D. Maltese. Go. We have a winner. The correct answer is Maltese by Fatima Jen Erica Guillon. So next, guys, intermediate round. Which of dog usually suffers from prognatism or overbite? A. English Bulldog, B. Belgian Malinois, or C. Scottish Terrier, or D. Snoppy. Snoppy. So we have a winner. Wait a minute, guys. We have a winner. It's Mark Anthony Archis Ansit. It's Bulldog. You know what is overbite? Remember, kanang manggigil yung mama? Oo na siya. The upper jaw. The upper jaw is like this. Ano yung mama? So, mo na siya ang overbite. So next,
Based on experience na work.
Based sa experience din ako, kanamayon nga, ngaon na ta. Ano siya? So next, guys, we have, which among this breed of dog is known for its sense of smell? A. Berger Picard, B. Australian Shepherd, C. Berga Masco, or D. Bloodhound. Kung na my friend nga na sense of humor na sa sense of smell sa anito. Kadaog naman si Eliza ganina. We have a winner. It's letter D. bloodhound. It's Chantilly Chua. Oh, diba? Chua. Next. Which breed of dog are considered as brachycephalic? A. Pug. B. Afghan Hound. C. Labrador Retriever. D. Scottish Terrier. So, waiting. Oh, we have a winner. It's letter A. Did you know that brachycephalic is a type of skull? We have different types of skull, and that's dorsicicephalic, mesocephalic, and brachycephalic. And remember, guys, brachycephalics are prone to heat stroke because of their snout or brachycephalic structure, diba? So mono siya, guys. Just remember to be a responsible owner. The welfare of the animal is in your hand. If you can't handle that, just adapt, don't buy. So next, we have a winner. It's Janine Moriel Agravante. Congratulations! Ka-cute. Ay, di lang ako. Next. This breed of dog is closely related to Australian Dingoes. It's usually referred as the Blue Heeler or Queensland Heeler. Kaya ba ako, guys, sa inyong mind na naman sa Queensland? A. Australian Kelpie. B. Australian Cattle Dog. C. Australian Terrier. Or D. Australian Shepherd. Guys, ha? Iro na siya, di lugar. We have a winner. It's letter A. It's Jamaica Jean Panonsi Solomon. Ano siya, guys? Now we are in the difficult round. This breed, muna siya now, guys, ha? Dili na siya lugar, iro na siya. So, what breed of dog is most likely to suffer from intrupion, inversion of the margin of the eyelid? A. Brain Griffin. B. King Corso. C. Jake the Dog. D. Sharpie. Familiar ang choices. We have a winner. It's letter D. It's Sharpie by Jana Griffel Legaspi Baldo. You know, we have the other side from intropion, and that is ictropion. Ictropion, diba? Inversion of the eyelids kana internally, in, diba? In, diba? Same word, diba? Muna siya. Ang kanina yung intropion, guys, muna siya ang mga haggard o naong kanang anak ng kilay ba? Muna siya. So, ang eyelids the eyes. Next. Oh, di ba? Ingani ko pagkabata, guys, kung di ko magsinina. Next. This breed of dog has a mutation that affect their blood-brain barrier, making them very thin, which is why anti-parasitic drugs like ivermectin are not injected. A. German Shepherd. B. Border Collie. C. Snoopy. Or C. Scooby-Doo. Familiar sa Jude ang mga choices. Kani Hydoc Abelia. I remember this. So nakadaog naman. So we will. We have a winner. It's letter B by Jericho Santiago, di ba? So muna siya, Border Collie. So muna siya, guys. Remember, guys, daghan kay kog nabasahan sa internet mga vet nga walay eskwela kanang I read some kuan sa newsfeed na mag-inject og ivermectin nya wa di kabalo sa day na siya sa tong body. So remember to go to the professional, to the right person, dili magpa may. Sige, next. So we have the Ribas puzzle. So kani guys kay dapat grabe kayong mind of understanding and eyes, diba? Mechanics. Each Ribas puzzle consists of a category that answers boxes and a series of pictures, clues. That category gives a vague to hint to what sort of answer you are looking for. Person, phrases, or thing. The first person to give the correct answer in the comment box in 1 minute will win the game. Each Ribas puzzle has only one winner. Each winner per Ribas win 100 pesos. So, 7 siya ka puzzle guys. So, daghan jud kay mo chances. No repeat winner. No repeat winner. So, masya. During the event of game, quote or sentence will be shown in one of the random PowerPoint slides. Viewers online will look for the code or sentence and will be asked after the event or games. One winner will get the 500 pesos. Amazing! Diba? 500 pesos. Kumplito na jud kayo na. Makapit mo bugas, diba? Mga sudan, painanglanon sa inyong pamilya. Pwede pa niyo padadaan og Cloud9 ang inyong uyab. For example, like this, diba? Sa ubos na ay code name or clue. Code name, clue. Basta mauna siya. So we will go now to our game. Just remember to use your mind and eyes. Your weapon is your hand. Example, million. Answer, 1 in a million. Kamo na isabot, nganong kana ang answer. So now we will go to our game. So just answer. I'm waiting, guys. As first clue, sitting. Mauna siya. Diba? Wait a minute. We have a winner for 100 pesos. It's Rochelle Heidi Daklan Ibanez, sitting on the top of the world. Diba? Nana mo hint guys unsa ni nga type of puzzle. So grabe. Next. Oh, mana siya ang answer. Diba? Sitting on the top of the world. Ana, sabta anong ana? Murag gugman ninyo nga nag-work, nag-ask ka ngano. So mura na siya giana. Ngano? Nganong nanami distance? Nanantay answer pero kuwang. Dilinish. Kuwang ha? We have a winner. Again, it's Eden Tagalog. Space Invader. So muna siya. Remember, everyone has a face. Don't invade. Respect. Nana sa SSP. Oh, dili ni siya mata. It's meta. As in kani guys, grabe. Clue, English word. We have a winner, grabe. Based on my, we have a winner. It's Kate Salinas, it's metaphor, diba? Diba upat ka buok, so metaphor. Ano siya? Thank you for the support, Kuya Jigs. Okay. Last, kini guys, dali ra jud kay ni siya. Mura ni siya kuan. Keyword, murag uyab nimo. As in. Oh, we have a winner. It's Janine Moriel Agravente, diba? Once in the blue moon. Ay. Sorry for misinterpret. Oh, Ati Janine, nakadaog day ka ganina. So, nakalimot na magugtos mga pangan. Good. Sorry. Our official winner is Doc Maria Pia A. Gordoncillo. Hi, Doc Pia. Kita taog mo. Next, mana siya once in a another one thing. One thing, ha. I'm still waiting. Clue. English word yun siya, guys. Mabasan. Wait. Nanaunta pero puwang. Hapit na. Hapit na, Jude. We have, sorry guys, manambe. We have a winner. It's Ketsong Pan. So ang word kay one thing after another. So mana siya. Next guys kani dali ra jud kayo ni siya. History. Why history? History guys. History. Sorry, nakadaog na. We have a winner. It's Gabriel and Bagano. History repeat itself. Huh? Guys. This is our last slide. Mag-astra of question sa end. Remember guys ha, timanin ninyo ang katong code or ang word na gahay. Diba? For 500 pesos, bet to guys. We have a winner. It's Christine Lay Pabuaya for 100 pesos. So mana siya guys. Forgive and forget. So katong mga utangan ninyo guys, mana siya. Forgive and forget. So, thank you. Closing
Okay, there we have it. Okay, thank you so much to everyone who participated through in our game. So, okay. So thank you so much, War, for leading the games. I bet everyone had so much fun. Even kami diri sa studio kay sige nigpugong sa mga katawa no kay mo record magud siya sa mic pero sakit kay mo mga tiyan nagpinugong pero mao to siya nindot kayo work. So hopefully next year Doc Ryan, basin daw si Warren, pwede mo apply as host for the future events.
Sabot lang ta daw.
Sabot lang daw. Apil, atagan lang daw kami puto cheese daw sa masagot ko. Okay, so that concludes our Pet Power Revolution this year. I hope all of you learned so much from our talks this afternoon and got inspired as well. I also hope you had so much fun being with us today. To our viewers, especially those who will be entering college, your dream of becoming a veterinarian starts with us here in Southwest University PHINMA College of Veterinary Medicine. Registrations for school year 2021 for 2022 is ongoing. And yes, I'd just like to extend our gratitude. The Veterinary Medicine Student Council would like to thank Southwest University PHINMA for this opportunity to reach to more people. We thank you for allowing us to pursue this event despite of the challenges that we had to do just to pull off this event virtually. We thank our speakers, the Southwest University PHINMA team, volunteers, the different VetMed organizations, the Society for the Advancement of Veterinary Education and Research, the Venerable Knight and Lady Veterinarians, the Canine Alliance, the Westside Rodeo Club, the Pet Science Society, and the Clinician Society. To our sponsors, and of course, our ever-supportive faculty, led by our Dean, Doc Ryan, for your unwavering support and for making this event a success. If you want to stay connected with us, please don't forget to like this page, Southwest University PHINMA and the Veterinary Medicine Student Council of Southwest University PHINMA for more updates. We just have officially started our VetMed month, and if ever you guys would want to check out the activities we have in store, you may check it out at the VMSC page. Once again, this has been your host for today, Jigs, and together with me, my partner, Warren. I hope that you would continue to advocate for the welfare of animals and to take care of yourselves in order for us to see each other physically in the future. Together, let us continue to pray for the healing of the world and for us to conquer this pandemic. Also, don't forget to register to vote. Goodbye and stay safe, everybody. See you in Pet Power Revolution 2022.
Hi. Hi, good afternoon and good evening. Thank you so much, everyone. We did it. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Are we still recording?
Sir, yes. It's already on a dock. It's already off. You can already
Leo,
talk.
it's really a great great chance for us, no? It's opportunity for our students to learn from you. Dagan kay nagkuan sa imo kanang likes, no? When it comes to
Yeah. Doc Leo, you're on mute.
Ano ko, nagkayagaw man gani.
Pero it's nice. It's nice. There's a lot of shout out for you, Doc.
Yung ka ba sa lagi? Asa mo ba sa mismong sa live?
Yes. Sa SWU PHINMA na page po.
Okay.
Yes.
three appearances in one event.
Yeah.
Pangit. Sige ko ka, DC.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Dito na lang ko sa balay. Salamat po ha. Thank you sa
Doc
tanan.
Leo,
Thank you
we
sa
will
tanan.
send our token to you, to your clinic, Doc. We will course
napagid
through
eh.
it. We will
Sige.
We will course through it to Doc Ryan.
Sige po. Salamat.
Okay.
Salamat.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Good night.
Western nga mga Southwestern coat, no? I'll buy you one. Ito bitong jacket sa Southwestern. Itong hoodie.
Hoodie?
Woo!
Alright.
Abiganin na ako katong ingon ka, Doc Ryan. Sa una, imo ko Tagalog kuan. MacBook Air.
Sa 2030. Yung ka-afford. Yung,
May
Okay.
tama ka visit na sad ko sa inyo. May tama ka visit na sad ko sa inyo. May man ko sa college eh.
yeah, soon.
Yeah.
So then,
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye, bye-bye. Good evening ulit. Good
Congratulations.
night.
Bye.
Jacob, and guys, thank you also, Council. Really, helpful for us. This Jigs also. Wow, Jigs, you're professional. When you kuana.
Ikaw ganito, Dok. Dili ko kakita klaro sa screen, pero sige na.
And also, see,
Kaya for the opportunity, Dok.
it's really funny. See,
Si Warren.
Hi, Doc.
Mr. President na Doc Leo. So, nagdagpila.
Okay. Doc, is it okay if we will take a picture for a while with the VetMed team and then with Doc Leo? Kasi they have to leave kasi si Dr. Kim nasa admission and then si Ma'am also napa siya line appointment. Okay? Sige?
Alright.
Yes. Okay? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Salamat.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye, bye-bye.
Bye. God bless. Ingat.
God bless.